guys, we're just going to do a short activity to help us with our shading before we start on our tropical fish. So what I've got here is I've got a normal just HB pencil, as you can see there. Like I said, if you just have a HB at home, that is fine. Do not worry about it too much. But I have some shading pencils, so I've got a 2B and a 4B here. If you've got shading pencils, you're more than welcome to use them. But do not worry too much. You don't have to go out and buy any or anything. Just use your HB pencil, that's fine. And I do have 2 cotton wool buds here as well, which all of you should have at home, I'm hoping. So what I would like you to do is write dark to light, and most of you know where this is going to go because we do this in lesson time. So I'm going to do this with my HB pencil for those of you who don't have shading pencils, okay? And you know that when I'm trying to get a dark shadow from our recap, I'm going to press really, really hard. So I'm going to press as hard as I can with my pencil in the dark area. There we go. And then as I'm going through to the light area, I'm going to go a little bit lighter with my pressure. So that's middle, and then I'm going to go really, really light. So putting very, very little pressure to get a light shade. There we go. So that's what I'm going to do first. Then I'm going to try underneath to go from light to dark this time. Always make sure your pencil is nice and sharp, because when you get to the less pressure part here, it's going to be very, very hard if your pencil is blunt. So make sure you're sharpening it as you go along if it does get a bit blunt. So the light area, this time I'm going to go from light, so practicing going from light to dark this time, doing really, really light pressure, putting a little bit more pressure on, and then pressing really, really hard with my pencil. There we go. If you find this difficult, you can always build up the layers. So instead of just doing it dark straight away, I can do some layers like this. So if I wanted to do it like a middle, and I don't think that's too dark, I could then build up the layers. So I could put another layer on the top to make it darker. Like so. And then if I want it to be darker, I can add another layer. That's another way of doing it, okay? But I just want you to practice trying to get the different pressures whilst using your pencil. Also, to bear in mind, hold your pencil in the middle or somewhere up at the top like this. Don't hold it right down here, because when it gets to the light pressure, you're going to find it very, very difficult if you hold it right down here. So I recommend holding it in the middle or even further up like that. Okay, if you are using the shading pencils, do exactly the same with the shading pencils as I've done here with HB, so dark to light and light to dark. Okay, after you have done that, I want you to get your cotton wool bud and I want you to blend one of these out, not both of them, just one of them. Okay, so my light one, okay, I'm going to start blending. So you should be able to see the difference. Okay, and we have gone over this in lessons before, so you should be experts at this by now. Okay, and you should be able to see the difference between these two. That's why I only asked you to do the one. Okay, so this one now has created quite a nice smooth surface, so I can't really see all the small pencil lines anymore. And this will work with a HB pencil. It will. So don't worry if you don't have shading pencils. If you have shading pencils, it will work slightly better just because they're shading pencils, so they blend out a bit better. Okay, so that's all I would like you to do, is give a go at doing these two. Okay, just to practice in case we've got a bit rusty whilst we've been off. And then blend one of them so that you can see the difference. Okay, give that a go.